Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive, where we take on a stack of research, notes, and data and just pull out the most critical knowledge you need to be well-informed. Today's dive is into a topic that, it affects pretty much everyone, right? Regardless of your job or how much you make. We're talking about money. And specifically, we're diving deep into this really controversial idea that most of us are operating under what might be the greatest financial illusion of our time.
Right.
That belief that if I just made more money, all my problems would disappear.
Yeah, the magic salary fix.
Exactly. But the hard, objective truth we're confronting today is that for most people, financial problems actually they get bigger and louder the moment you get a raise.
It's a fascinating and honestly a disheartening consistency we see across the entire financial spectrum. We've looked at the data, we've tracked countless anecdotes.
From all income levels.
All of them. Whether someone is earning, say, $40,000, $80,000, or even a combined household income of $200,000, the core emotional feeling is precisely the same.
And what's that feeling?
It's always, we feel broke, or
Right.
we just can't get ahead. And the big one, we constantly need to earn more just to keep up. The level of stress is it's remarkably static, even as the income digits get way, way bigger.
And that is the paradox that really drives this whole discussion, because you look at the high earner, right? The one who just landed that six-figure salary, and you just assume they made it. They have stability.
Of course, that's the assumption.
But our sources show again and again that people earning, say, $150,000, $200,000 are frequently in more acute financial chaos.
More chaos, yeah. Deeper debt, higher volatility, more anxiety.
Than the person earning way less,
Right.
but who has actually built, solid financial structures and boundaries.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, what we find is that salary is not a solution. It's just an amplifier.
An amplifier. I like that.
Think about it. If you have poor behavioral habits around money, when you're making $60,000 a year, what happens when you double that income to $120,000?
They don't just magically vanish.
They don't vanish, they're amplified. They get louder, they demand bigger and bigger purchases, and this is the most critical part, the mistakes you make become exponentially more expensive.
Oof. Yeah.
A small overspend at $40K is, a minor setback. But an impulsive luxury purchase at $200K, that can lock you into years of debt.
So the central argument we're really pursuing today is that the root issue for the vast majority of financial struggle isn't your income. It's everything that happens around that income.
Right. It's the invisible but incredibly powerful force we call the behavioral ecosystem.
And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you how to identify and, more importantly, how to change that ecosystem.
Exactly.
All right, let's start right at the heart of it. This income fix myth. We all have that internal daydream, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
If I could just get that $30,000 raise, I would finally be able to breathe. I'd pay off the credit cards. I'd stop stressing about bills and, everything would just be okay.
It's almost a universal belief. And it's such a seductive thought because it externalizes the problem completely.
What do you mean by that?
It allows us to look outward at our boss, at the company, the economy, and say, that's the obstacle.
Instead of looking in the mirror.
Instead of looking inward at our own habits.
Yeah.
But statistically, the data is just relentless on this. We see so many people in the US making genuinely good money, well into the six figures, who are living the very definition of paycheck to paycheck.
Constantly maxed out
And experiencing this chronic, severe financial stress. They're running on the income treadmill, but they're just stuck in place.
That still seems so counterintuitive, though. If someone goes from, say, $60K to $150K, surely the quality of their debt changes, right? Are we talking about consumer debt, or is this more about huge mortgages and car payments?
That's an excellent point, and it highlights the core danger of something we'll get into later, which is lifestyle creep. When you look at the $40,000 earner, their debt is often necessity-driven.
Right, like medical bills, an emergency.
Exactly. Medical bills, high-interest credit card debt from a car repair, or just struggling to afford rent.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the $200,000 earner, the magnitude of their debt is usually much, much higher.
And it's different.
It's almost always discretionary debt. It's tied up in these large, high-status consumption items.
The oversized mortgage.
Oversized mortgages, luxury car leases, expensive private schools, constant high-end dining. They've just scaled their consumption to meet and very often exceed their income.
So in both cases, the money is gone, but the high earner has chosen a much more expensive set of shackles.
Exactly. The real root issue is not the amount of money entering the account. It's what happens the instant it lands. We have to look at how that money behaves once it gets there. And even more importantly, how you behave when that money arrives. Do you consciously direct it, or do you just passively let it drain away?
This brings us back to that crucial management principle, and I think we need a sticky analogy here, something that makes it really clear why managing, say, $100 poorly guarantees you're going to fail at managing $10,000.
Let's use the analogy of a small business owner.
Okay.
Imagine an entrepreneur running a little boutique shop.
Okay.
When they're small, if their inventory is a mess, their bookkeeping is late, and they spend impulsively on non-essential equipment, their losses are contained.
Right. It's a small problem.
They might lose a couple $1,000s, but the business probably survives. Now imagine that same entrepreneur scales the business to $1 million in revenue overnight without fixing any of those internal chaotic systems.
Oh, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
A total disaster. That business chaos is no longer small. The disorganized inventory now represents hundreds of thousands of dollars of write-offs. The impulsive spending is now a multi-year lease on unnecessary infrastructure.
The chaos scaled exponentially.
Exactly. The principle is this. If you cannot effectively manage a small amount of money or a small business operation, there is no magical transformation when a larger amount arrives. The dollar amount changes, but the underlying habit, the behavioral blueprint, it stays exactly the same. Only now, the cost of failure is so much higher.
That is simultaneously so confronting and also incredibly freeing.
How so?
Confronting because it forces you to take personal accountability, but it's also freeing because it means we don't have to wait for a boss to give us permission to fix our finances. We can start today, right where we are.
Precisely. It forces us to shift our focus away from income as the villain or the solution and start looking at the way we relate to money itself.
And that transition
from externalizing the blame to embracing internal responsibility for your own systems and behavior, that is the single most necessary step toward achieving genuine, lasting financial security.
So since we've established that the salary isn't the problem, let's get really specific. Let's identify the culprits. What are the concrete behavioral and structural failures that keep people feeling perpetually stuck no matter how much they earn?
We've isolated 7 major culprits that basically act as comprehensive wealth drains. These are the holes in the bucket that you have to plug, regardless of how fast you're pouring money in.
Okay, what's number 1?
The first, and honestly the biggest failure, is the lack of a money system. This is a structural problem.
Meaning what exactly?
It means there is zero automation for your bills or your savings.
Yeah.
There's no overarching structure, no intentional plan, and crucially, no real awareness of where the money is actually going.
It's just flowing.
It's an approach of pure, reactive, chaotic flow.
Yeah.
If money arrives in your account and you don't know exactly what its job is, chaos is just inevitable.
And chaos, as we've noted, is spectacularly expensive.
It is. The second culprit is the celebrated destroyer of high incomes. Lifestyle creep.
Ah, yes.
The silent killer.
It's this consistent, automatic, and usually emotional response where your spending increases faster than your income every single time you get a raise or a bonus.
It's that moment you stop asking, can I afford this?
Yes, and you start saying, I deserve this, thereby locking yourself into a new, higher baseline of fixed expenses you can never go back on.
Okay, what's third?
Third is a deeply psychological one. Emotional spending. This is spending not out of any logical necessity, but as a mechanism to manage your internal state.
So you're not buying a thing, you're buying a feeling.
You're buying a feeling. You're buying to escape stress, to reward exhaustion, to soothe anxiety, or to get a temporary feeling of safety or control. This category often includes all those high-frequency, low-dollar transactions that just drain accounts so fast.
The daily coffees, the takeout.
All of it. Number 4 is a really powerful form of self-sabotage that's rooted in fear. Financial avoidance. So just not looking.
Actively ignoring bills, refusing to look at your banking apps or your statements, just burying your head in the sand and procrastinating on any kind of financial planning.
The logic being, if I don't see the problem, it can't hurt me.
Right, until the unavoidable financial crisis hits. And it always does.
And the 5th culprit, this must relate back to what you said about the high earner's choice of debt.
Exactly. That's identity-based spending. This is spending driven entirely by the need to project a specific social image.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
On steroids. People buy these high-cost items, luxury cars, designer labels, extravagant parties, neighborhood upgrades. Not because they need them, but because they want to signal success. And it's often driven by this fundamental underlying feeling of insecurity or low self-worth. They're trying to purchase confidence.
Okay, 2 more. What's number 6?
Sixth is the structural collapse factor, zero emergency buffer. This really highlights the fragility of the entire ecosystem.
So no safety net.
None. The structure is so brittle, no savings, no liquidity, that one minor life event, like an emergency dental procedure, a necessary appliance repair, or a minor car accident,
The whole thing collapses.
the entire system collapses. And that leads immediately to panic, high interest debt, and severe financial trauma.
And the last one?
Finally, seventh, is the accumulation of these small, persistent, yet often unconscious behavioral habits. This is the bleed-out factor.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Perfect way to put it. It's the constant stream of impulse purchases, the aggressive use of food delivery services, the stack of subscriptions you never use but they keep auto-renewing, and spending that's motivated purely by the pressure to keep up with your friends or colleagues. Social pressure spending.
When you look at that whole list of 7, the common thread isn't the source of the income. It's the management, the emotional regulation, the structure.
Right.
People aren't suffering from an income deficit. They have a deep-seated behavioral ecosystem problem.
That term, behavioral ecosystem, is so key. It's the entire environment of habits, beliefs, and emotional responses that surround your money.
And money just follows the path of least resistance.
It's deterministic. It will follow that path. If those core patterns, the avoidance, the emotional coping, the lack of structure, if those don't change, the money will just continue to drain away no matter how big the paycheck is. Stability, therefore, is created by the system, not by the salary.
Let's talk about the psychological trap here, this income illusion. Why does getting a raise or a bonus feel so much like a guaranteed rescue when, as you've shown, it so rarely changes the outcome?
It's rooted in this powerful but temporary disconnect between our emotional reality and our financial reality. When that raise hits, there is a genuine, measurable physiological change. Your nervous system actually relaxes.
You feel that wave of relief.
A flood of positive hormones, hope, pride, validation. You get this temporary belief that you finally conquered the struggle.
So it feels like success, even if it's just a numerical investment on a screen.
Exactly. But the human brain is built for adaptation, and that's what we call the adaptation trick.
What's that?
Within a surprisingly short period, often just 3 to 6 months, the brain has entirely normalized the new, higher income level. The emotional high completely fades.
And the stress comes back.
The stress comes right back to its baseline level because the core habits, the underlying system, and the core mindset were all left untouched. And often because of the immediate expense increase from lifestyle creep, the stress is actually worse than it was before the raise.
That's the classic treadmill effect. The person earning $90,000 a year thinks $100,000 will solve everything. They hit $100K and immediately their stress centers start focusing on needing $120.
The goalpost just constantly moves further away.
Right.
And that's the illusion at work. Income provides the feeling of progress, that emotional relief of moving forward. But if the behaviors, the debt load, and the consumption patterns are static or worse, increasing, you are not financially moving forward in any meaningful way.
So the illusion is the trap.
The illusion is the trap. The belief that the external event did all the heavy lifting, when in reality the crucial work of implementing internal resilient systems was completely neglected.
So the psychological trap, the income illusion, it translates directly into the physical lack of structure, the chaotic ecosystem. Let's shift now and really define exactly what a resilient system looks like.
Good idea.
We've established that intentions and stress, they aren't systems. Most people intend to save, and they definitely stress about their debt, but they just don't have a reliable working system in place.
And that distinction between intention and system is the single most important factor for success. A system, in this context, is defined as something that operates automatically.
So it works without you having to think about it.
It functions reliably regardless of your immediate mood, your level of stress, or whether you feel motivated that day. It has to be a structure that sustains itself even when your willpower completely collapses.
We're trying to engineer success.
By making the right financial decision, the default automated decision.
So we need to move away from that rigid, spreadsheet-heavy, guilt-based budgeting that everyone just dreads.
Absolutely. Traditional budgeting fails because it requires daily emotional cooperation and willpower. A resilient money system, based on what we see in our sources, is much simpler. It only requires 4 key automated parts.
Okay, what are they?
First, automated fixed bills. This is the foundational move. You remove human error, memory stress, and the chaos of remembering due dates by ensuring every fixed payment, rent, mortgage, insurance, loans is handled without your emotional or motivational input.
That reduces cognitive load.
Significantly. Second, automated savings and investing. The habit of consistently moving money to savings or investments must be automated, and it has to happen before you even see the money in your spending account.
Even if it's a small amount.
Even if the amount is tiny, $5 or $10 a paycheck, the automation builds the habit of paying your future self first.
Okay, number 3.
Third, a basic flexible spending plan. This is not a rigid budget that makes you feel guilty for buying a coffee. This is a broad framework that allocates funds into major categories like essentials, fun, and long-term goals. It's a guide that provides direction, not a detailed accounting ledger.
And the last part.
Fourth, a weekly or bi-weekly check-in. This is a short 10-minute meeting with your money, and it's focused purely on awareness and adjustment, not punishment or guilt. It's just a chance to see if the system is still running smoothly.
What's so crucial here is that this approach directly addresses the primary failure point of traditional financial management.
And the failure point is always the same. Budgeting does not fail because of a math error. It fails because of human emotion, stress, and lack of willpower.
So if the system relies on you feeling disciplined every single day,
it is doomed to collapse when stress or exhaustion or just boredom inevitably hits.
And without that resilient automated system, the money is just. It's like free-flowing energy, waiting to be captured by the nearest emotional impulse.
Correct. Without a plan, money behaves chaotically. It's dictated by the immediate emotional need for comfort or validation. This is the structural reason why salary alone, no matter how high it is, cannot secure your future. You have to provide the structure for the income to stabilize within.
Okay, so if the system is the container, then emotional spending is the giant hole drilled into the bottom of it. We have to acknowledge that finances are emotional, and spending is a highly functional, if destructive, coping mechanism.
It is entirely functional. We often frame spending as this logical, necessary transaction, but for millions of people, it is their primary form of emotional regulation.
It's a tool.
It's a powerful tool used to soothe anxiety, to reward grueling effort, to escape chronic low-level stress, or to provide a temporary feeling of control when other areas of your life feel deeply chaotic. The purchase is secondary. The emotional shift is the real goal.
Let's look at the specific scenarios from the sources, because I think a lot of people don't recognize their own emotional spending until it's actually named for them.
Okay, let's start with scenario 1, the reward-deserve-it cycle. You've had a brutal week-long hours, difficult boss, stress at home. You come home exhausted, and that internal monologue kicks in.
I've worked so hard. I deserve something nice.
I deserve something to make this day better. And that single thought justifies the immediate action, ordering $45 worth of food via DoorDash or placing a big unnecessary Amazon order. The goal is to feel nurtured and validated after pain.
Okay, what about the next one?
Then there's scenario 2, the dopamine escape mechanism. This happens when you're actively avoiding looking at your credit card bill or stressing about an upcoming financial deadline. Your mind needs a distraction, a break from that dread.
So you grab something cheap.
You grab cheap, high-frequency items, the daily expensive coffee, the afternoon snack run, the quick trip to Target for just one thing. These purchases provide a rapid temporary dopamine hit to just numb the underlying anxiety or dread.
And the most insidious one, the one that really drives lifestyle creep. Scenario 3. Insecurity and worth spending.
Right. This happens when you feel unseen, unappreciated, or that you're not achieving the status you desire.
So the emotional responses.
The immediate emotional response is to buy clothes, shoes, or gadgets to feel worthy, impressive, or confident. You are literally trying to purchase an identity and external validation.
The tragedy of this pattern is that none of these purchases actually solve the root cause. The exhaustion, the financial dread, the insecurity.
Never. Emotional spending works like a temporary anesthesia. It numbs the pain for a moment, provides that instant fleeting relief, but the underlying issue remains completely untouched.
Which guarantees the cycle just perpetuates itself almost immediately.
Exactly. And that brings us to the shame trap.
Right, the guilt.
Yes. The individual then feels this guilt and profound shame over the emotional spending itself. This guilt becomes another painful, negative emotion that requires immediate soothing, which often leads the person right back to the original coping mechanism.
More
spending. It creates this self-fueling loop of sabotage that is just incredibly hard to escape without some kind of external intervention or a really strong system.
Let's pivot to lifestyle creep, because this is the mechanism that ensures even high earners stay broke. It's often more damaging than outright consumer debt because it hides in plain sight, masquerading as earned success.
Lifestyle creep is so devastating, precisely because it is normalized. It's even celebrated in our modern consumerist culture. It is this near-automatic phenomenon where, without fail, discretionary spending rises immediately following any income increase.
So it's the psychological assumption that a raise requires an upgrade.
A raise requires an upgrade, a bonus demands a reward, and a new job necessitates an improved standard of living.
So the income line goes up, but the spending line just follows it so closely that the space you need for saving and investing never actually opens up.
The savings and investment lines just stay flat, or sometimes they actually shrink relative to the income growth.
Can we walk through some detailed examples to really illustrate how fast this self-sabotage happens?
Let's do it. Example 1, the housing trap. An individual gets a significant raise, maybe from $70,000 to $95,000. They immediately decide they can no longer live in their current, perfectly functional apartment.
They need an upgrade.
They justify upgrading to a neighborhood with better amenities, new furniture, and a significantly higher rent or mortgage payment. If that $25,000 raise translates into an extra $1,500 in fixed monthly overhead,
The entire raise is gone.
instantly gone. They now have a higher income and are still exactly as cash poor as they were at $70K, but now with dramatically less flexibility.
Okay, what's another example?
Example 2, the death by 1,000 cuts. A couple's income increases by $20,000. They don't buy a house, but they make all these micro upgrades.
Like what?
They subscribe to 4 premium streaming services instead of 2. They upgrade their weekly grocery haul to include more expensive organic or gourmet items. They switch from ordering takeout once a week to ordering high-cost food delivery 3 times a week.
And that 20 grand is just consumed.
Consumed by a million tiny, emotionally satisfying transactions that add zero long-term security.
And the most painful scenario, example 3, the high earner stress.
Right. A couple reaches a combined income of, say, $150,000. They upgrade their neighborhood for the better schools. They buy 2 new leased cars, and they start flying first class occasionally, justifying it as necessary comfort for the stressful jobs.
So despite the huge income,
Despite the huge income, their fixed monthly obligations are so massive, maybe $8,000 or $10,000 a month, that they cannot withstand even a single month of unemployment or one unexpected expense. They are incredibly financially vulnerable because they consumed the raise before it could ever be converted into stabilizing assets.
So what's happening psychologically here is that lifestyle creep is framed internally as rewarding yourself for enduring stress.
Exactly. But because the impulse is to consume the raise immediately and automatically, the income has no chance to be converted into financial freedom. You cannot out-earn lifestyle creep. It is the ultimate, reliable, wealth-swallowing mechanism that guarantees constant financial anxiety, no matter what your salary is.
This is the crucial moment in the dive, I think. Why do we, as smart, motivated people, consistently engage in this kind of self-sabotage? We know better, but we do it anyway. We have to go beyond just saying irresponsibility and explore the deeper psychological patterns.
It is absolutely essential to remove the judgment here. Self-sabotage is not a sign of moral failure or low intelligence. It is almost always a result of learned subconscious conditioning. We can detail 6 powerful underlying drivers that literally train the nervous system to spend.
Okay, what's the first one?
First, emotion regulation. This is a neurological reality. When you're stressed or anxious, your limbic system takes over. Spending, especially on novel or high-status items, releases dopamine and endorphins.
Giving you immediate stress relief.
Powerful, immediate stress relief. Money becomes a quick, accessible, and socially acceptable tranquilizer.
Okay, second.
Second, the escape hatch. Money and spending are actively used to create temporary distance or distraction from an unpleasant reality, a relationship that's failing, a job that is toxic, or chronic feelings of inadequacy. The purchase is the ticket out, however temporary.
Third has to be about status.
For sure. Identity and social signaling. We are deeply social creatures. The need to spend to look successful, to maintain status within a peer group, or to compete with the perceived affluence of our neighbors is a powerful cultural force, and it often overrides rational financial decision-making.
What's number 4?
Fourth is a big one. Fear of discomfort and low frustration tolerance. Delayed gratification feels painful in the moment. It requires the hard work of sitting with complex emotions, patience, waiting, uncertainty, disappointment.
And buying something is easier.
Buying something immediately is neurologically easier than tolerating that discomfort. Instant gratification is always the path of least resistance. And fifth is the emotionally compelling deserve it narrative. This feeling is so convincing because the person has typically worked incredibly hard. But this narrative bypasses the rational brain and leads directly to short-term consumption that actively undermines your long-term stability and security.
Okay, and the last one, number 6.
And sixth, unconscious imprints or financial trauma. These are the powerful financial scripts we learned in childhood. If a person grew up in deep scarcity, they might be conditioned to immediately spend any available money out of the fear that it will be taken away or disappear.
A fight against the feeling of lack.
Exactly. Or, conversely, they may simply be repeating the chaotic overspending blueprint they observed in their family of origin.
So the core takeaway here is that the nervous system has been trained. It learned, probably early on, that spending equals safety or relief or validation. The sabotage is learned conditioning, not a character flaw.
Exactly. And this final point really drives home why income is not the solution. A bigger paycheck cannot heal emotional wounds. It can't repair trauma, fix low self-worth, teach discipline, or suddenly give you a structured environment.
Income is inert.
It's inert. Only awareness, intentional systems, and personal healing of these core psychological drivers can accomplish lasting security.
Now that we've clearly identified the problem, this chaotic, behavior-driven ecosystem, we have to contrast it with the mindset of those who build sustainable multi-generational wealth. How do these wealthy thinkers fundamentally approach income differently than the majority of high earners who remain stuck?
The difference is all in utility and purpose. Wealthy thinkers view income not as a reward to be consumed instantly, but as a tool and as investment fuel.
So it has a job to do.
Its primary job is to maximize the utility of every dollar by making it work for them over the long term, rather than converting it into short-term, instant gratification that depreciates immediately. They optimize for freedom, not for consumption.
What are the specific actionable practices that, underpin this wealthy thinking?
There are 6 core accessible strategies.
Okay.
1, invest first, spend later. The priority shift is absolute. Savings and investments are automated and treated as non-negotiable fixed expenses that happen immediately upon receiving income.
They get paid before anyone else.
Before the landlord, before the credit card, and before the grocery store.
Wow, okay, 2.
2, delay lifestyle upgrades until your assets pay for them. They implement this anti-creep philosophy rigorously. They do not upgrade their lifestyle just because their salary increased.
They wait.
They wait until the passive income generated by their investments or their assets can cover the upgrade. This effectively decouples their lifestyle expenses from their current labor or salary.
That is a massive distinction. You're not paying for the new car with your current paycheck. You're paying for it with the interest earned from last year's investments.
Precisely. 3, use raises primarily to increase savings and investments. A raise is viewed as an opportunity to accelerate the timeline to freedom and stability, not simply a chance to afford a bigger house payment or more expensive trips.
They have a strict ratio for it.
Often something like 80% of the raise goes directly to investment, maybe 20% is used for minor quality of life upgrades.
Okay, 4.
4, use clear long-term goals to guide financial decisions. Their decisions are filtered through the lens of a 5, 10, or 20-year plan. This automatically makes short-term emotional impulse spending look illogical and counterproductive to their primary mission.
And 5.
5, separate emotions from money. They practice compartmentalization. They recognize that money is a resource and a mechanism for execution, not a source of comfort, validation, or emotional soothing.
So if they need comfort.
They turn to relationships, exercise, or healing, not shopping.
And the last one, number 6.
And 6, track and know their financial baseline. They have full, non-negotiable awareness of their numbers, what comes in, what goes out, and what their true net worth is. This awareness is the foundation of control, and it allows for precise, non-anxious decision-making.
So the key insight here is that wealthy thinking isn't just for the already affluent. It's an accessible strategy. It's built on awareness, intention, and systematic action that anyone, regardless of their current income, can adopt to transform their financial trajectory.
That's the key.
We spent enough time on awareness. Let's move to action. If our listener wants to start building stability today, right now, where should they focus their energy to create that resilient, automated structure?
Okay, we need to enact what we call the money system reset. These are 8 simple behavior-based steps designed to restore control and remove the emotional burden from daily financial management. Step 1. Know your baseline. Stop operating in the dark. This means logging into your bank and credit card accounts and calculating even roughly your average monthly earnings, your fixed spending, and identifying the obvious recurring leaks.
And awareness reduces anxiety.
Awareness, however uncomfortable it is at first, is the greatest tool for immediately reducing financial anxiety and restoring a feeling of control. You cannot fix what you cannot measure.
Okay, step 2.
Step 2. Automate bills first. This is the foundational move for reducing stress and error. Set every possible fixed payment, rent, utilities, loans, insurance to autopay. The goal is to reduce the monthly maintenance tasks to 0, eliminating panic and missed payments.
Step 3.
Step 3. Automate savings and investing immediately. This is the pay-yourself-first rule engineered for resilience. Set up an automatic transfer to a separate high-yield savings account or an investment brokerage, and start small.
Even if it's just a few dollars.
If all you can automate is $5 or $10 per paycheck, do it. The habit of automation is far more important than the initial amount.
Okay, step 4.
Step 4. Create a small cash cushion. Aim for something small and achievable, like $200, $300, or $500. This small cushion significantly reduces the physiological panic response when minor, unexpected expenses come up.
Like a flat tire.
A flat tire, a minor fee. And that reduction in panic directly eliminates the primary trigger for emotional spending.
Right. Okay, step 5.
Step 5. Cut emotional triggers aggressively. This is all about adding friction to impulsive buying. Unfollow social media accounts that promote harmful comparison. Delete your saved credit card information from Amazon, Target, and other online stores.
Unsubscribe from marketing emails.
Unsubscribe from all of them. Make it physically harder to spend emotionally.
Step 6.
Step 6. Set a spending rhythm.
Oh.
Move away from random reactive purchases. Create an intentional weekly plan for your discretionary spending, food, fun, shopping. For example, decide every Sunday that X dollars is available for groceries and Y dollars is available for entertainment that week.
This removes decision fatigue.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 more. Step 7.
Step 7. Build skills, not lifestyle. Consciously direct your investment dollars toward improving your skills, your education, professional development, or side hustle potential. This compounds your income over time. Lifestyle upgrades only increase your static expenses and your volatility.
And the final one, step 8.
And step 8. Review once a week without shame. Commit to a short 10-minute meeting with your money, preferably with your partner if you have one. The purpose is pure awareness and minor adjustment.
So not punishment.
No punishment, no guilt. It's just, we overspent on groceries this week. Let's adjust next week's food budget. Treat it like a business owner checking their KPIs.
That last point, reviewing without shame, that is so vital. It transforms the process from this self-flagellation ritual into a simple, objective business meeting that informs future action.
Exactly. And the profound takeaway of these 8 steps is that they are entirely behavior and structure-based. They are scalable and they work no matter what your income level is. Stability is purely a function of structure, not higher earnings.
Emotional spending is probably the hardest habit to break because it's so functional. It serves as that instant stress relief. We need to approach this necessary change with compassion first, right? Acknowledging that this behavior comes from pain, stress, and exhaustion.
Compassion is the starting line. You cannot shame yourself into stability. But you can introduce simple neurological interruption tactics. We can use a simple, repeatable 3-step approach when that spending urge hits.
Okay, what's step 1?
Step 1. Pause and breathe. When that impulsive urge to click buy now or order that delivery hits, you have to impose a strict mandatory pause of 60 seconds. Just breathe deeply for 1 minute.
Why is that so important?
It's crucial because it provides a window of cortical control over your limbic system. It gives the rational brain just enough time to interrupt that stress response loop before the action is taken.
Okay, and step 2.
Step 2. Ask and name. Ask yourself the clarifying, power-removing question. What emotion am I actually trying to fix or soothe right now? And then name the feeling. Is it stress, boredom, loneliness, frustration, insecurity? Naming the emotion separates it from the required action, which is spending, and it reveals the true underlying need.
So instead of thinking, I need that new gadget, you're thinking, I feel overwhelmed and I am trying to buy a distraction.
Precisely. And then comes step 3, replace, don't restrict. Have a catalog of alternative non-spending behaviors ready that can provide a similar emotional relief.
So if the purchase was for soothing stress,
Replace it with a 5-minute walk, a shower, 2 minutes of stretching, journaling about the frustration, or calling a friend. If it was for dopamine, replace it with loud music or a short burst of intense activity.
the key principle here is substitution. If you just restrict the spending without replacing the emotional soothing, you're leaving this massive, unaddressed emotional void.
And the old destructive habit will immediately rush back in to fill it.
Right.
The cycle only breaks when you successfully transition the emotional relief mechanism to something healthier, more sustainable, and non-financial. It takes time, but the habit breaks once the relief is consistently found somewhere else.
Let's focus on the habit that really destroys high earners' lifestyle creep. How do we build permanent immunity to this perpetual upgrading cycle, ensuring that raises actually translate into stability and freedom?
We implement a very disciplined anti-creep formula that focuses on pre-commitment and delay.
Okay.
The first, most crucial element is priority pre-commitment. Every single time your income increases, the day you get the notification of a raise before the money even lands, you must commit and automate the increase to savings and investments first.
So you manage the raise before you ever spend it.
Exactly. The moment you secure that $10,000 raise, you immediately increase your automatic investment transfer by $8,000 annually.
Okay, and the second part?
Second, you upgrade slowly and incrementally. Lifestyle upgrades have to be slow, intentional, and they only happen after the investment increase is secured. If you get a $10,000 raise, $8,000 goes to investment acceleration, and the remaining $2,000 is used to slightly improve your quality of life. The 80-20 rule is a powerful guideline here.
And critically, this addresses the anticipatory celebration problem.
Yes, you implement the cool down period. You have to institute a mandatory 30 to 90-day period after any raise, bonus, or large influx of cash where absolutely no major or minor lifestyle upgrades are permitted.
And this allows the emotional excitement to settle.
Completely settle down. That celebratory anticipation that triggers immediate consumption, it fades. By forcing this buffer, decisions are made from a place of clarity and reason 3 months later, rather than impulsive celebration when the money first clears the bank.
That cool-down period is the buffer that protects the new income. It gives the individual time to fully integrate the new income into their existing stable system before they allow it to destabilize their budget. It turns a reactive, consuming decision into a proactive, intentional investment decision.
That's the goal.
As we approach the close of this deep dive, we want you to fully internalize the feeling of financial stability that comes from structure. So if you're in a safe, stationary location, just take a deep breath in and let it out slowly.
Now first, let's acknowledge the pain. Imagine your current financial life. The constant weight of stress, the uncertainty, the fear that grips you when you have to open your banking app to see what surprise awaits. Visualize the paycheck that just vanishes before you can even allocate it because chaos dictates its path. Acknowledge what that constant chaotic anxiety is doing to your nervous system, to your sleep, and to your relationships.
Breathe that feeling in and now let it go and let's shift. Imagine waking up to a life where you have a smooth, automated money system in place. Your bills are taken care of automatically. Your savings and investments are growing automatically without you having to think about them. You know your core numbers, and that knowledge brings a deep calm and confidence. You feel in control, directing your money intentionally toward your goals, rather than feeling constantly directed and chased by your bills and your emotional urges.
Visualize choosing purchases from a place of clarity, not panic, not desperation, or emotional emptiness. Imagine that minor financial emergencies, the appliance repair, the necessary trip to the mechanic, become annoying inconveniences that are easily managed by your cushion, rather than massive existential crises that spiral into debt. Imagine stability being your normal baseline expectation, built one small, automated step at a time.
Hold that powerful feeling of calm control, structure, and forward momentum for just a moment longer.
Take one more deep, stabilizing breath and gently bring your focus back to the present moment, ready to implement these changes.
Before we wrap up, we want to distill everything we've learned into 5 essential truths that we really hope you carry with you beyond this deep dive.
Truth 1. Your salary is merely a resource. It is not your destiny. Your habits, not your income level, determine your financial fate.
Truth 2. Money problems are fundamentally behavior and system problems, not income problems. The fix is internal. It involves structure and emotional healing, not external.
Truth 3. Without a functional automated system to contain and direct your money, no salary level, even $300,000, will ever feel like enough.
Truth 4. Emotional spending is a sign of underlying pain, stress, or exhaustion, not a sign of failure. And because it is a learned behavior, it can be healed and replaced with healthier, non-spending coping mechanisms.
And truth 5. Sustainable wealth and security are built through consistent habits and automated systems that make the right decision the default decision, not through the size or frequency of any single paycheck.
This has been such a critical conversation, revealing the systemic nature of financial struggle. Thank you for providing the clarity and insight to guide us through this complex material and for giving us genuine, actionable solutions.
Thank you. And to you, the listener, let me offer some final reassurance. You are not broken. You are not inherently behind. The feeling that you need to earn dramatically more money just to feel secure is the illusion talking. You simply need a reliable system, and that system is entirely within your power to build one small behavior-based step at a time starting today.
What's truly interesting here is how financial discipline mirrors discipline in other areas of life. If income only magnifies existing patterns, if chaos scales, consider this question as you wrap up this deep dive. What foundational non-financial habit, maybe organization in your workspace, discipline in your daily schedule, or managing a simple morning routine, what could you fix today that would immediately establish the structured mindset necessary to improve how you handle money before the next raise even arrives? Because mastery in one area often bleeds directly into financial mastery. Thank you for joining us for the deep dive. We look forward to exploring the next topic with you.